What's up guys, we're back and it's Gsxr time. And before we get started, elephant in the room, I couldn't start this bike on the last episode. That's changed. So it turns out all of your comments were correct. I had no idea how to start a Gsxr. How simple of me, but that is now rectified. She runs nice and smooth. And now we're actually gonna get onto building this thing. So let's get it inside. First steps, wheels are gonna come off. So now it's straight over to Motor Garage to get these tires stripped off, and then we can start stripping these wheels down. So super easy, 6 bolts each side, get these discs off. Right, so I'm fully set up outside. I've got all of my cleaning agents. I've got degreaser, I've got unglue cleaner, which gets rid of glue where you would have had rim stickers. So these rim stickers have to come off. I've got my heat gun to get those rim stickers off. I've got my brush, automated brush, and I've got my scouring pad. So I'm gonna speed up this whole time-lapse thingy-majig because this is gonna take me at least an hour and a half, 2 hours to clean these rims. They've gotta be spotless. There's gotta be absolutely no grease, no oil, no rubbish on these wheels, because by the time I lay my first coat of primer, it's gotta be perfect. All done and drying in the sun. I can't believe I didn't think of that nylon brush sooner. That was an absolute lifesaver. So I'm just gonna let all the water come off these. I've also strengthened up my makeshift spinner, my wheel spinner. So for anyone who watched the V2 build, I will try not to fall over this and put myself out of action for 2 weeks. Whilst this is drying though, we've got something else. And this is it right here from Omnia Racing. We've got a new throttle pull cable because this one's broken. You can see where it's broken right there. So we can't just replace this little 90-degree piece. We've got to replace the whole throttle pull cable, which means going in down here the side of the tank. So tank's got to come back off, or at least back. Maybe pull the earbox back off and then pull this housing apart and see if it's as easy as stretching a new cable in place. It's not as easy as I'd hoped. So they've actually given us both cables, so maybe it's smarter to replace them both. I'm not sure. The fuel pump power, 2 air feeder pipes, and the fuel hose, super easy. Now 6 bolts holding in the velocity stacks, and then lift the whole thing out. So now I can actually get to this with my wrench, and I should be able to loosen off that top cable and just run the new cable on there. Super easy. Just gonna take a quick break from that throttle for a second because these wheels are actually dry. And cat cameo. Someone asked for it, had to be done. Now where's he gone? Here he is. Oi. Look at that. Right on cue, just like a dog. Anyway, next up, what I'm gonna do is blue tack. So easy tack, blue tack, whatever you want to call it. I'm just working my way around the wheel on any mating surfaces. So i.e. where the discs go on, I don't want that to get paint. So both wheels takes about 5 minutes. Pretty easy job. And then I'm just going to mask up the valves because I'm going to keep these valves in. And then we're going to lay down some primer, first coat of primer. Priming's all done. That was super easy. Sometimes I actually prefer to work with cans on a day like today where it's completely just the right temperature, there's absolutely no wind, it's just perfect, and I don't have to set up my entire paint tent. I may still have to set up the tent to actually spray these color, but I'll see how we go for the rest of the day because 23 degrees outside, perfect temperature. Again, I'm waiting for paint to dry. I'm going to thread now our new throttle cable through, and one nut goes on one side up here and the other nut goes all the way through, and then I've got to try and use my needle nose pliers to connect the cable around the throttle, which is easier said than done. I got it. Now I just got to reconnect this cable back up, screw it back into the housing here, and we should be away laughing once I put it back into the throttle. Okay, so it's all on and done, but it's kind of sticky, so I don't know if it just needs some silicone grease or what it needs, but I might ask a professional opinion. So we'll probably come back to this throttle, say throttle 3 times fast. I dare you. You can't, it's just impossible. We'll probably come back to this throttle at some point in the future. For now, let's maybe put a base coat on these wheels, and you're gonna be surprised at the color I've chosen. So this is a Gsxr, it's my first Gsxr, and I wanted to go a little bit crazy. I wanted to go a little bit out there, a little bit left field, and this is what I've chosen. I'm actually going with a pre-mixed can version because it's easier. And it's shadow chrome. Yes, I know folks. Shadow chrome wheels on a motorbike. And it's going to have probably a matte and satin finish fairing. So I figure super shiny wheels, not silver, not black. I didn't want just straight silver because straight silver just looks a little bit too boring for me. I wanted something in between. So shadow chrome, it's a mix of silver and black. Fingers crossed I can pull this off. So check it out, they've gone green. See that? They've got like a massive green tint to them. They are horrible. And I know what I've done wrong. So it's the next day and I now know what I've done and I know how to fix it. What I should have done is started with a chrome base because this is shadow blackout chrome and it works off a chrome or silver base. I thought I had to prime the wheels and work up off a primer. No, so since I ran out of primer, I thought I need to even the color of these wheels out anyway. So I've just gone back to a base black and I'm gonna chrome over the top. So I picked up 2 cans of chrome. Now this is gonna look pretty wild, even if I just left it as chrome. I'm gonna lay that down and then as soon as that's dried in about an hour, I'm gonna lay my first coat of shadow chrome. So we're still sticking with the plan. There was parts of me that wanted to give up, parts of me that wanted to go, you know what, screw this. Let's just go with black or white or something. Super easy. Even the way they look now, they look really, really nice and smooth compared to what they looked like yesterday. So leave them black. I'll pretty much finish this video now if I wanted to. Nah, let's do it. So this is really not turning out the way I wanted. I'm back to where I was 24 hours ago, albeit with a much more consistent shade of green. So this is where we're at. Now I'll put them in the sun just so you can see. You can see there's like a metallic shade of, like it's almost like a greeny blacky silver to it. It's just weird. Yeah, I don't know. I can't figure it out. I don't know what I've done, but I'm sure as heck not gonna try and improve it. Maybe it'll look okay, maybe it won't. I don't know. But this does change the plan for the actual color of the fairing. Because I was gonna go with blue, various shades of blue to sort of mimic that Suzuka 24-hour bike, but now I'm thinking, maybe that's not gonna work because blue and green should never be seen. However, there is another Suzuka 24-hour bike and it's a slightly different color, a color we've almost done before, and it's this. So I think this, with these black chrome, greeny, just weird wheels, might do the trick. Anyway, let's see how to look on the bike. So there we go, wheels are done and they're looking, well, I wouldn't say I'm sad about them, but they're definitely not amazing. So I'm gonna have to make them pop a lot more when I choose the color for the bike itself, and I'm gonna have to make that stand out. So at least there's contrast between the wheel and the tire. That's the main thing. Onwards and upwards. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.